We're good. Okay, so some quick updates from our office. Last Friday, we met with Kelly, Ken, as well as Wilbur on the NCD that is coming forth on Leland Avenue. The gist of it is that it is going to cover from Bayshore, except for the two corner buildings, so the bank and the other corner building, because it's under a different set of zoning on Bayshore. But from there all the way to where the library is going to be covered in that NCD. And basically that will permit like certain businesses to be able to go in or not be able to go in. We're working with Ken and Kelly to be able to, as well as the Office of Small Businesses, to give a better summary of what can and what can't go in. Once we get the okay from Ken and Kelly's side, as well as Office of Small Business, we will introduce legislation to codify that. So that is one of the big things that's going on. The other legislation for Riz Valley is that we are finally moving forward with Station 44 landmarking. And that came about because Riz Valley History Project, you all, that was one of the sites that you wanted to initiate a historic preservation for a landmark. So we are moving along with that one. We have the Black History Month Lunar New Year event this Saturday. Thank you so much, APAC and folks, for helping us organize it. And then my other update is today we are hearing at the Government Audit and Oversight Committee the apology to African Americans on behalf of the city. And this was a recommendation from one of the many recommendations in the African American Reparations Advisory Committee that the city should issue a formal apology to African Americans. So we will be hearing that around 10 o'clock today. And those are all my quick updates, and I'm happy to listen to updates on your end or what pressing issues need our help on.
Okay, so let me ask you, if I understand you, you said there's going to be an apology, the actual apology approved by the supervisors.
Yes.
Okay, all right, and yeah, there's been a question about SF Safe and what, if anything, the supervisor intends to. Is there any action in that regard?
Yes, so actually today at our JO meeting, there is going to be a hearing on SF Safe as well. That hearing is led by President Peskin as well as Supervisor Chan. We are aware of the issues. I think we've heard certain agencies also reach out to your office because they were not paid by SF Safe, even though they did the work. So it is like, yeah, we are doing a hearing on it.
And when is that hearing?
Today, also at 10 o'clock.
Okay. And is it going to be televised?
Yes. So you can find it on sfgovtv.org starting at 10 o'clock.
Thank you. Go ahead, Rex.
Hey, Natalie.
Yes.
The only question I have for regarding SF Safe would be, I know Supervisor Peskin was talking about eliminating SF Safe, but is there any is that going to be discussed today at the hearing? And what are the supervisor's thoughts about that?
I'm not entirely sure. I just know that there is an ongoing investigation in it. As a supervisor office, we are not involved in the investigation. We are hearing the updates as they come out as well.
No, I mean, is there any support to continue SF Safe? Obviously, with a new regime, right? But because some of us in the community feel that it is a much needed organization.
Yeah, we would have to check with SFPD on that because it's technically under their branch.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for?
Okay. Happy New Year, Natalie.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, I just want to ask you your reference to LCD. I'm not too sure what that is. I just came back from my trip, so I'm not right here. Yeah.
Oh, it's NCD.
NCD. Oh, okay.
NCD,
all right.
Yeah.
Neighborhood or district, is that what?
Yeah, so a little bit background on that. I think when the NCDs came out within San Francisco, Leland was left out of it for zoning issues. And it's basically, NCD stands for Neighborhood Commercial Districts. And so there's certain zoning requirements in those areas that will preserve just like spaces for small business, and Leland was not included in that. So when the city does like citywide legislation, sometimes Leland is excluded from that, or like when voters pass any ballot measures that have to do with commercial districts, Leland has always been cut out from it. So this is to try to fix it so that we can include Leland as a neighborhood commercial district.
And how would it help us?
It preserves, it has certain zoning for certain businesses, and it also like we can allow certain businesses to go in, and we can also prevent other certain businesses to come in.
Okay, so were certain businesses excluded before?
No.
Okay. So, well, it's good to be in, but I still want to know the advantages of having, that.
Yeah, we've been in discussions with Office of Small Business, Ken and Kelly from Mission Blue. And so once we have just a better sense of where the merchants want it, I think we are also going to do some community outreach, community meeting on it, just so people understand like what this is and also how it helps Visitation Valley.
So would it provide more funds for the merchants? Would it be?
There's no funding component on it. It's all about zoning.
Natalie, Marlene. So my understanding is this effort will make Leland Corridor a special zoning for business, and therefore it would exclude certain businesses, such as more MCDs.
Since we don't have an actual law in place for that, that is currently under discussion with the Office of Small Business and our merchants.
I think it prevents big bucks from coming in, kind of like a Starbucks, to compete against small business. That's really, it makes sense in on Leland because it's not that big of a merchant corridor. Now, if we had like 20 blocks of merchants, that's something that I probably won't support, but it makes sense for Leland.
Yeah, and it also prevents businesses who might have a lot of let's say like cars coming in for parking that might take up the entire parking of Leland. So those are some of the parameters that it implements, and it really just protects the small businesses that are on Leland, and also make it easier for small businesses to come in the corridor and fill in the vacant spaces.
So I just heard the mention that prevent MCDs. Is that true?
Again, the legislation is not set yet. That's between Office of Small Business as well as our merchants, like Ken and Kelly and other merchants that they've been meeting with. They are helping us shape that. So it's not set in place right now.
Okay, I hope that's one thing we do not want in Visitation. We already have one around the corner, and that's plenty. Yeah, so I think that should be discussed very seriously. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, before we go to the lieutenant, Natalie, we just want to confirm that here on out, the third Thursday is going to be at 5 o'clock.
Yes. I just couldn't do 5 o'clock today, so thank you for accommodating me this morning. But moving forward, third Thursdays, 5 o'clock, we'll jump on.
All right, fantastic. All right, any other questions for Natalie? Thank you, Natalie, for coming on. Thank you for your information, and I hope you have a great day. You're welcome to stay on and hear Lieutenant from Ingleside District talk to us.
Thank you. I think I'll stay on and I'll just mute myself.
All right. Welcome to Lieutenant Ozel. How are you? You're muted right now. Can't hear you. I'm not sure why we can't hear you.
Fix my microphone here.
Oh, there it is.
All right. Can you hear me now okay?
Yep, we can.
Well, welcome, everyone. I'm happy to be here. My name is Jonathan Ozel. I'm a new lieutenant at Ingleside Station, Day Watch. and I've been here a couple months. Recently came from the Central District where I was for 6 years. And I'm here now. I'm very happy to be in the district. Thank you for letting me join the meeting today. I want to be available to any of your questions or concerns with regard to police matters in the Visitation Valley area. I know the other day I got acquainted. I went out on Leland Avenue with one of my sergeants, and we walked up and down and went into some of the new businesses there, and met lots of folks and business owners that were happy to see us out there. We handed out some flyers on some vandalism relief grant money from the city, and we met a lot of people, and I'm happy to be part of these meetings, and I want to get to know all of you in the meetings, and how we can help at Ingleside with all of your concerns. And so thank you for letting me introduce myself, and I'll throw it back to anyone if they have any questions. Thank you.
Do you have a special role in terms of Visitation Valley?
So I'm the patrol supervisor during the day, and I supervise the units. We have a sector car that is assigned to Visitation Valley every day. We have that starts at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we have another sector car that joins them at 11 o'clock. And they, Officer Daggett and Officer Mora, are very familiar with that area and have met. I think Rex, you might be familiar with Tom Mora and Ariana. We also have two fine officers, CV and Anderson, who go out and patrol that area. So we are always looking for concerns, issues that pop up in the community that we can address. And so my job is to put those resources, the limited resources that we have, unfortunately, sometimes with the SFPD, to good use in the community. So that's my role.
Got it. I appreciate it. Go ahead, Rex.
Robert, would it make sense to get everybody, we know the lieutenant now, but he doesn't really know all of us. Maybe a quick 10-second introduction of ourselves.
Sure, I don't have a problem with that. So my name is Robert Cowan. I am the pastor of River of Life, which is located on Sunnydale between Hahn and Sawyer. It's a blue church. Been there since 2004, so we've been there for a while, 20 years. And we have a lot of stuff that's going on in the community.
Thank you.
Hi, Lieutenant. This is Marlene Tran. I started my community work in the late 1980s because of all the rampant crimes targeted mostly at the non-English speaking residents. I taught at the Visitation Valley Community Center, and I've retired from the Unified School District as well as City College. So I do speak Cantonese, Mandarin, Vietnamese, and so on, and do have a good understanding of the crimes that were, had happened all these years. So my question is, at the present time, do we have bilingual officers on duty? And number two, how are these officers, or rather, how is the ambassadors program connected to the officers that you have a better understanding of what's really happening, especially in our community with a lot of Chinese speakers?
Yes, good question.
Yeah.
So we have, I'm happy to say.
Go ahead, please.
We have quite a few bilingual officers on my shift here at Ingleside Station. I am a bilingual Spanish and Portuguese speaker myself, but we also have an officer who's the Mandarin speaker, Officer Lim. We have one of my sergeants, Sergeant Ho, is a Cantonese speaker, and he works during the day here with me at Ingleside. And we have another Spanish speaker officer, Siragusa, who is out in the field. In addition to that, we have Vietnamese speaking officer, Sergeant Tri Hong. And so we take language accessibility very seriously. And if there is a language that we don't have, we will try to get an officer from another district to assist us or access our language line program so that everyone has access to language. As far as the ambassador program, I would have to get back to you how they interact in terms of getting out into the community and getting information to us. I know at Central Station, we had a lot of ambassadors in the district, and they were certainly sharing their concerns. I'm not sure who is assigned to the Ingleside district, but I can certainly find that information out. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you.
That answer.
Yeah, right.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, actually, Dee, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, hi, my name is Dee Wu from Northeast Medical Services, NAMS, and we have a clinic at Leland Avenue, and I'm the Community Relations Associate at NAMS, and yeah, thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for introducing yourself. Nice to meet you, Dee.
Anna?
Hi, my name is Anna. I work at APAC as the program coordinator.
Okay, nice to meet you, Anna. Thank you.
Josephine?
Yeah, my name is Josephine Zhao. I am a part-time educator working at SFUSD, and then the other part-time, I am a community worker. And my mentor is Marlene. My first mentor is Marlene, so she brought me into the community work. I've been working in different parts of Leland in the past 10 years, including 66 Raymond and 1099 Sunnydale before Ronald Cothers passed away, and also worked with Reverend Cohen as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Russell?
Hello, thank you, Officer, for attending our meeting today. My name is Russell Maureen. I actually live in Little Hollywood, which is in the Bayview station, but you know, we're all Biz Valley out here. So I am also part of the Visitation Valley History Project, another group called Visitation Valley Connections. It's more like a neighborhood-based residence group. So we are very interested in what you can do and help us with in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Great. All right. Lieutenant Rex Tamora with APAC. Our organization has been around for 25 years. It's our 25th anniversary this year, actually. And, you know, I sit on your, first of all, thank you for, you know, coming to join us today. I know the captain's extremely busy, and I know you're extremely busy as well, being short staff over there. I also sit on your captain's CPAP, Marlene and I do, and so did Robert at one point. I'm also on the API forum, you know, for the citywide forum with the chief. Also, I also sit on his advisory board now that was just formed late last year. It's a 1-year commitment, and so I wear many hats, and that's why I lost all my hair. So thank you.
Yeah, great to meet you, Rex. Thank you very much.
Let me introduce myself also. You forgot about me, Rex.
Oh.
Anyway,
you said you were taking off. Sorry about that.
I am a program director for Felton Institute. We've been a nonprofit organization for over 130 something years. We have a presence in Visitation Valley and Bayview. They are different departments, but I focus largely on the senior community services at 66 Raymond and at 1099, and also the Visitation Valley Health and Wellness Program. Welcome, and nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you too.
All right. Is there any updates, status of you know, crime and trends that might be helpful for us?
I just want to say at Ingleside, we're committed to working with everyone in the community to make the community feel safe and to actually go out and address the concerns that we've been having. I know, I just want to mention 141 Leland has recently popped up while I've been here. There was a trespasser that has been chronically trying to get into the building, and by the name of Mr. Dyer. He is in custody, and I don't know if anyone has had to deal with him, but that is a positive update. I know he's been an issue. He knows someone inside the building, is homeless. We're trying to get him connected to some services, and hopefully it won't become such an issue. Since I have been here, I've been told the work that the officers have done, crime has gone down. I don't know if that's your impression as well, but we are trying to keep units highly visible. I know the captain is a big proponent of having officers come in and working high visibility. So they go out on patrol. They go out on foot. I did this a couple weeks ago with one of my sergeants, actually walk the block, go in and talk to people, say, hey, we're going to be out here. We want to let you know. If you have any issues, please let us know. To be calling 911 if they see something, so that we can be alerted and we can set up a crime reduction plan. Personally, I'm a big proponent of traffic enforcement. So over the last month, we have gone out and we're doing a lot more traffic enforcement. And I know there's some areas such as that Leland corridor that could benefit from some traffic enforcement to get people to know, hey, stop at the stop signs, be mindful of people in the crosswalks. So you're going to see more of that. And if, like I said, if there are issues that come up, I want everyone to feel comfortable that they can call 911. They can call Ingleside Station. They can talk to our fine officers who work in the Visitation Valley, flag them down and say, hey, this is what's going on. We could use your help out here. And then we could set up a plan.
And the reason that we're going to get increased traffic enforcement is what?
You know, during COVID, traffic enforcement went down for obvious reasons. And I think we had more collisions and more people not being mindful of pedestrians, not being mindful of speed. So I believe that it's important for us to go out and educate when we see traffic violations. That doesn't mean giving more tickets, but to be out and to show folks that we are paying attention to areas of concern, such as crosswalks, such as speed in corridors, and to get people aware so that it's safer for everybody.
So are you saying that the number of accidents, pedestrian accidents, people getting hit, whatever, that they are increasing?
There has been an increase. I know over this past year in the holidays, I don't have the exact number, but there has been an increase in some pedestrian fatalities that I've seen. And
in Visitation Valley?
Not in Visitation Valley, but just in the city in general.
Okay, but we're talking about Visitation Valley. I'm just trying to get clarity. You said the reason Visitation Valley is getting increased traffic enforcement is because what again? If we don't have increased accidents or collisions or anything like that, why are we getting the lucky break of more traffic enforcement?
Well, I think it's important just for us to be out and to show that we are making sure Visitation Valley is safer. And that doesn't mean traffic enforcement pulling people over and giving tickets, but if it's on a foot beat, if it's driving around, that I know there's no increased traffic issues in Visitation Valley. However, I have anecdotally, when I've been walking I have seen people kind of go a little too fast on Leland, hitting some stop signs and not slowing down. So I would like to get that that word out there that we just want people to be more careful.
A question. No, since Visitation Valley has a high concentration of APIs, has there been any spike in burglaries or crimes, during the Lunar New Year? Are you aware of that?
Yeah. In Visitation Valley, that I have heard in the last 2 months I've been here, no. However, in the Ingleside district, we have had, there's two things that we're trying to get people to be aware of, and that's the blessing scams, where we recently had an incident a couple weeks ago in the Ingleside district where unfortunately someone was victimized and lost a lot of money and jewelry from their home. And then, so we're just trying to educate the public whenever we go out and talk to folks to take the precautions, all that they can, have information about making them being safer.
Unfortunately, quite a few years ago, some of my former adult students were victims of that. In fact, this seems to reoccur again. And I'm just wondering how the police department maybe should have some sort of ad or a Channel 26 and advise people about that. And I don't know if any officers have interviewed to warn people about it. That would be very much needed.
Yeah.
Seriously,
sorry, you're breaking up just a little bit.
Sorry, as I said, besides the several individuals that may be identified, I really think that there may be other victims who may be too embarrassed to show up. So I think there should be more publicity about that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Good point. And we're trying to educate folks as much as we can. I know these things come out on the news. I know the district attorney's office recently put out a press release with SFPD trying to educate the public on blessing scams that are happening, unfortunately, to some community members. So that's a great idea. I'm not aware of any campaigns, but certainly I think that that's something that we should be doing.
We have a couple more minutes.
Yes.
You had a question?
Yeah, no, thank you for that update, Lieutenant. I did hear about the blessing scams when it happened. We did push, my organization pushed some messaging out to the Asian community and talk about that, and just generally, being careful about those kind of stuff. But yeah, if things happen in or around Visitation Valley that could impact our community, we would appreciate the notice. The folks here, there's a couple other folks here that are not here today. One of them from SCDC. So if we can get those messages from your station, so we can push it out. And then the other part too, Marlene, on your question, that's something that the API forum is. That's something that we're trying to work on now, in conjunction with before with SAFE, but unfortunately SAFE is not around temporarily. Those are the kind of messages that they were responsible for doing. To push those kind of messages to the API community. That way, it's not just Vis Valley. It reaches, because KTSF, when you're on TV, it's not just San Francisco either. So
area, yes.
Good idea.
All right, so it's 1 minute to 10. I really appreciate Lieutenant you coming on and giving your update. I just wanted to be mindful that most of this valley, a lot of poor people live out here, cannot afford more tickets. So hopefully it will not have a negative impact. But again, on the traffic enforcement, again, thank you so much for coming. Thank you everybody for your time. Hope you have a great weekend. And blessings to you all.